Hey, good people. Welcome back. This is Melissa King. Back for another money decision story time. I am feeling so much better than I felt on the last one. So hopefully this one won't be as lackluster as my last one. But anyway, welcome back to the channel. And I'm here to take you on another journey through my financial life. There are some ups, there are some downs, but I'm being totally transparent with y'all. So we'll see how this story turns out today. But before I go to that, as always, today's story time is sponsored by Tie and Nye Essentials. So let me just let them do their shameless plug. Check the girls out here.
You thought I was playing? Huh.
You thought they were playing? They not playing. Look, it is COVID is back into full effect. Well, honestly, I don't think it ever left. I think things went on a little low, but now with this new variant, protect yourselves, wear your mask, order your hand sanitizer. If you don't get it from Ty and I, get it from somewhere. But the girls' website is going across the screen down there on the ticker. So they would very much appreciate if you would support them and purchase your hand sanitizer from them today. So let's get started on what we are talking about today. Let's see, put my banner back up here. All right. So the title of today's story time was Lazy Boy Made Me Be a Not So Lazy Girl. Now, a lot of y'all that follow me for a while, on Facebook or whatever, you've heard this story because I have told it a million times. And Lazy Boy, y'all know I'm not lying, so don't come for me. This is not defamation because it's the truth. Okay? So, picture it. I'm gonna do this, Sophia. Picture it. Miami, Florida, 2009. Um, I'm expecting my first baby. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, for this first baby, I want to do everything. Well, only baby, because honey, I was already 35, so it wasn't gonna be no another baby. So I'm like, for this baby, I want to make sure I do everything right. So I'm like, okay, I want to get a recliner so that if I gotta be up with the baby and I start feeling sleepy, I don't want to take the chance of, rocking with the baby on the edge of the bed and the baby falling. If I get a lazy boy, then I can just, if I need to, sleep in the living room. And that way, if I fall asleep, we both fall asleep and everything's good. So in my mind, this was like ideal idea for, the baby. So I decided, okay, it's 2009. Y'all have heard some of my backstories about my credit issues, but I have been paying everything on time and I done paid off a lot of stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, I should be good. Went to the Lazy Boy location. I think I went to the one in Miramar, Florida, somewhere. It was between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So went over there, walked around the store, took my time, found the chair that I fell in love with. And so, of course, I don't want to say the chair was like $400 plus, but I wanted to just get the store credit and just do payments or whatever. So, in the past, when people would be like, well, would you like to apply for our store credit? I used to be like, y'all not gonna embarrass me. I don't want to apply. I already know what the answer's gonna be. But at this point, I'm feeling like, okay, I have been doing the right things. Yes, sign me up. Gave them my information. They put everything in. Then they turn around and tell me that I was denied. I'm like, hold up. Did y'all put my information in the computer? Is it Melissa King? Did y'all type something wrong? Did you get a digit off on social security number? Because I know, like, hell, y'all ain't turned me down for a $400 sofa. I mean, recliner. Really? So it was true. They turned me down. I was hurt. And for any of y'all, if you've been pregnant before or been around people who are pregnant, you're already emotional anyway because your hormones all over the place. So it was like when that man told me that I was not approved for that chair, it was like he stuck a dagger through my chest. I was so embarrassed. And I immediately, and I'm just like, okay, thank you. So I go to the car. As soon as I get in the car, tears start falling. I called my best friend, and one of my best friends in Alabama, and I'm telling her what happened. And when I first called, all she hears is me, because I was telling you, I was doing the ugly cry. That's how upset I was about this chair. So she's like, what's going on? She thinking there's something happened with the baby. Are you in the hospital? What's going on? I was like, I just went in and tried to buy a lace work on, and they turned me down for a $400 chair. A $400 chair, and they turned me down. That's exactly, I can get on here now, she would tell you. That's exactly how upset I was. She was like, okay, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I'm like, but it's just not right. I'm like, my baby ain't even here yet. I can't even provide for her like I'm supposed to. I can't even get a freaking $400 chair. So, long story short, I got over it. I went home, I talked about it, I got over it. Honestly, I have never gotten over it. I still, when somebody say lazy boy, I be like, But anyway, I got past it. It's more than one way to skin a cat, as we say down here in the South. So JC Penney didn't have no problem taking my money. So I ordered a chair from them online and got it. But the moral of this story is credit is more than just paying things off and paying things on time. And back then, I did not realize that. I felt like as long as I was paying everything on time and I had paid some stuff off, I was good. But what I did not realize that I learned since having my own, I started this home-based business that I have back in 2015, which I started working on my credit before then, but I have learned so much since being with this business because I learned that there are actually 5 different categories that go into having a good credit score. I didn't know that. I had to plead ignorance on that because I thought as long as I pay everything else. So today I'm going to share a little bit of information about that with you because it ties into the story time. So let me just share my screen real quick. Let's see. And I will show you what I have learned about how your credit score is compiled. And I'm not going to go into a long drawn out story. I'm just going to give you the quick and dirty of it. And just to kind of give you an idea. So, okay, my screen's going to be a little bit slow pulling up, but there we go. So, like I said, initially, I thought all it was based on was your payment history and payment history, period. That's what I thought it was. Whether I paid everything off and whether I paid it on time. But your credit score, the whole score is actually divided into 5 factors. Your payment history, credit utilization, credit history, new credit, credit mix. All of those things mean something different. What I will say to you is if you are interested, because this breaks down into points, how many points, because you can have as high as an 850 when it comes to a credit score. I didn't even know what the minimum and maximum was at one point. But this breaks it down, what percentage is amount of debt, 30% is amount of debt, 15% is the length of your credit history, like how long have you had credit? Because if you're just getting out of school, you may not have had a card for a very long time or any credit for a very long time. That counts for 15% of your score. 10% is new credit. 10% is your credit mix, meaning they want you to have both revolving and I forget what the other one is called, but they want you to have like the credit you have with just having the credit cards and like purchasing a house or purchasing a car where you have this long-term loan that you can show that you've paid off as well, or you're paying on as well. Because that shows them that you can manage different types of things. So then 35% is the payment history. So what I was going by was really amount of debt, because I was thinking because I paid some things off, that made a huge difference. And payment history, because I had paid some things on time. But really, that's only 65% of my score. I don't know what my score was at that time, but apparently it was not to the liking of Lazy Boy. But anyway, don't get me back on them. But anyway, so as I said, your credit is broken up into 5 factors. If you are interested, I sell a product called the just because I'm trying to think of it. But anyway, my credit system. It is a system where you go in and teach yourself how to improve your credit, understand what's going on with the credit. And what I found is when you understand all parts of things, where you are the person that's figuring it out versus paying somebody to go in and tell you what you need to do, the lesson sticks with you longer. Because once I did get my credit into a good area, I knew what to do to keep it there. Because it's one thing to get it there, but it's another thing to keep it there. So I also wanted to share with you guys, I tried to find like one of my older credit reports. And the oldest that I had on file here was from November 2018, I believe. So I'm going to share that with you just so you can get an idea. And I want to show you the difference between or how those factors can actually affect you. So let me share this screen. Let's see. Give me a second, child. Share. And the company that I use to track my credit score is Experian. There are 3 credit reporting systems. There's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Well, the one that I use is with Experian. And I'm going to pull up my report. Okay. So as you can see here, this is from November the 30th, 2018. At that point, and with this system, I can get my credit score for all 3 at a certain point, as part of the credit membership. So at that time, my Experian score was 821. My Equifax score, this computer's going to be slow. And if it's too slow, I'll just skip it. I want to say it was like closer to 830 or something like that. Let's see. And then the other one was like right around 820 or something. So depending on, and I don't know why they're not always exactly the same as far as the score goes. Okay, at that point, my Equifax score was 833. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back to the TransUnion. But the whole point of it is back in 2018, I still had a car note. So I had, what is the name of the other one? Revolving credit. Don't make me lie to y'all. But anyway, I still had a car note. And what I found interesting was I thought once I paid my car off that my credit score was going to go up even higher, because I'm thinking, okay, that's me paying off debt, that should look good. Well, that affected my credit mix. Because, let me see. Come on, computer. It's just so slow. Whenever I'm on StreamYard, for some reason, it's super slow. But I just wanted to kind of show how having that car note made a difference, because the next score I'm going to show you is from June of this year. Now, my car has been paid off for a few years now, so I don't have that type of credit as like a long-term loan that you're paying on. And it actually really made a difference, because what you'll see when I go to my current score is it's actually lower. And, I was surprised because I thought that it would be, now this thing got all off on something else. Okay. Hold on a second, child. This computer has a mind of its own. But anyway, what I was trying to show is that even if you pay everything off, that doesn't necessarily mean that your credit score is going to go up, because the combination of what it takes to create your credit score is made up of different things. So once you learn that and get an idea of how it affects your score, it helps you in your decision making when you make purchases, because you're thinking now more of how it's going to affect you. And we all know that credit is key. In society now, a lot of times we have to resort to credit for a lot of things. And depending on what your score is, your interest rate can be outrageously high, which means that I can go buy the same thing that you bought and pay more for it because my credit score is lower, but they're charging me a higher interest rate. And the way I explain it to my daughter, because I'm teaching her already, I tell her, your credit score is like your report card. And every score, they give you 5 different areas that you can have so many points on. So it's like, even if you make an A on all of your homework assignments, if your midterm and final exam way more, that's still going to affect your overall score for the class. So it's broken down in the same way when we look at the credit score, because just because you're doing well on one area, if you're not doing well on another area, it can still affect your score. And so I like to look at it that way. So if you don't know when you start the class how they're going to determine the grade, how can you prepare to make the best grade? I mean, of course, you want to do good at everything, but you want to know how much one thing weighs versus another. So since my computer is acting a butt and don't want to do what I wanted to do, I'll just basically say my credit score from back in June had fallen down from, I think initially that was 820 for the experience. Well, it went down to 810, and the reason it's gone down is because I don't have a car note, or because I don't have a mortgage that I'm paying for a specific period of time. All I have are the credit card debts, and that means that my credit mix is not as strong. So that is what led to my score dropping a little bit. 18 is still good, but my goal was to get to 850. But because I need all 5 of those factors to make it to 850, I'm not there yet. But keep that in mind when you're making your purchases. Find out what your credit score is. Even if you don't want to join a membership like this, pay the whatever it is. I want to say, I know you can get it free once a year. Find out what your score is and where you are, and look at the report as far as what are your debt to ratio, what percent of credit you're using. All of those things are factors. And if you want to really get on top of it, go to my website, melissaking.myecon.net, and purchase my credit repair system and learn how to fix it yourself for $99. $99. Come on now. You could be lowering your credit score and getting to a point where you got more money. Increasing your credit score and getting to a point where you have more money in your pocket just by spending that $199 one time. So that's my story on how Lazy Boy made me a not so lazy girl. Because after that happened, I went into beast mode on trying to get that credit score up. I wasn't playing with them, and now, I'm in a much better place than I was back then. But don't let that be your story. check your credit and make sure that everything is looking good. So thank you for joining me for this story time. Until the next one, I will see you guys later.